Alright, so I'm going to do a video of me installing this cabinet that I got from MinutemenCabinets.com, and they were cool enough to give me another one of these to give away to the podcast listeners, the YouTube subscribers, all of that. So depending on when you're watching this, if it's the middle of July when this video comes out, we're going to be doing the contest for a couple of weeks. So make sure and hit the link below and get details about that. But before we get into the video, I want to go through what exact supplies you're going to need to install this, and then we'll go through the installation and all that good stuff. What I'm going to do is put in my Smith & Wesson shield with the extra clip and possibly even a spot for the box of ammunition. Not quite sure about all of that yet, but what we're going to need is a couple of different drill bits. You're going to need a 3/16, I believe, for the screws that go through the back of the cabinet, which I'll show you later. You're going to need at least a 3/4 inch drill bit to drill through the drywall. Now it comes with these wall anchors right here, and it says that it's best to find at least one stud to hang this onto for support. Where I want to hang it, I don't have that option, so I don't know if this is overkill or not, but I went and bought a couple of other toggle bolts that will go into the wall, and I'll show you how those work. If you have the option, make sure you drill it into a stud and you're not going to have any problems. I'm just not real sure, so I'm going to err on the side of caution and use these ones that I purchased. Also this X-Acto knife, which I will show you how to use here in a second. A level to make sure everything's straight, a drill with a Phillips head bit in the front, and a tape measure just in case. What I'm going to use this X-Acto knife for, and how I'm going to get this in there is let me get this off here, is down here. You can see in here, hopefully you can see, there's this piece of foam that I'm going to cut out and to fit everything to shape. Now what I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see in there, but I'm going to drill 2 holes through the back of this that are the smaller ones, the 3/16 holes that the screws will go through, and then put that onto the wall where the bigger holes, where these anchors are going to go in, and then these 3/16 screws fit into those anchors. So we'll see how all that works, but let's go ahead and get to the next part with the wall, measuring everything out. We'll see if I can get this with one person. We'll see how that works. One thing before we do that, if you do have the option to find a wall stud, you'll want to get a wall stud finder, because you don't want to be putting a whole bunch of holes in your wall. So unless your wife's not home, not saying that I would do anything like that, but you don't want to put a whole bunch of holes in your wall. Let's go see how we're going to set this up though. Alright, so I tried to do a video showing exactly how I did all this, but it didn't work out, so I'm just going to kind of explain it here. What I did was, it's about 3 feet, it is 3 feet from my headboard to my wall over here. So I just got my halfway point, and then on the back of this shelf here, I figured out where the halfway point of that is. And then on this back piece is 16 inches wide, so I just went in 2 inches on each side of that. And you can see right here and right here on the outsides of these hinges, and drilled my 3/16 hole to go through the wood panel on the back of this. And then in the wall I drilled my 3/8 hole, which I put the anchor bolt into, and then connected those together. And then as you can see, it worked out pretty well. This is a cool little unit. All you can do is hit that on there, find that lock spot, and it opens up like that. I can throw a picture up here, maybe my headlamp or something, just throw some stuff up there, and you wouldn't even be able to tell that it's got something bad for you in it if you come into my house. But let's go ahead and let me show you how the styrofoam stuff comes together, how you put the gun and everything in there, and then we'll come back here. Alright, so this is the piece of foam that comes inside the box, and what's cool about this is there's a video, it's from fastcap.com, where if you mess this up you can buy another one, or they just sell these for like toolboxes and stuff like that. And they've got videos on how this stuff works and how it's layered to make it easier for you to kind of get the right level. So what I'm going to do is do it like they mentioned in one of the videos, and I'm going to probably put my stuff something like that, because I'm going to leave this end open for what I'm going to use it for in the future. I'm not sure, like I said, whether I'm going to put the ammo box here, or we've got a Ruger that I might actually put in here as well. Not sure. Probably going to buy another one of these in the future too. So, but what I'm going to do is just take this. First, I'm going to take this and mark it out just with a Sharpie, and go right around the edges of where I'm going to cut. And you want to make it to where it's not pointed in, but you're straight up and down. Okay, now that I have those both marked out, make sure I take this out of here right now. Oh, I hurt myself. And I just take this, and I want to cut it pretty deep. You can tell that this, I want it deep enough to where it's going to set in there, but I don't want it to be too hard to get out of there where I have to pull it out with the trigger. I want to be able to grab it without putting my finger in the trigger, because I don't want anything to happen. So it says to cut it a little bit deeper than, quite a bit deeper than you want it to go actually. So if I can see that with this, it's going to go all the way to the bottom. So I might bring that back in a little bit, maybe even just a little bit more. And that way I won't go too deep. But now I'm just going to start cutting, and you want to cut inside the lines, not outside, because you don't want it to be too big where it moves around. Now that I've got that traced out, what I want to do is kind of just peel it back. I don't want to just rip it out. I want to try to get it all in one piece. I'll tell you what, on the video, it makes it seem a little easier than it actually is. Okay, now I've got it in there, but like I said, I don't want to have to pull it out from the handle or anything. I want to be able to, if it drops down like that, I want to be able to grab it out. So I think the best thing to do is going to be maybe make a couple handholds right up here just to grab it out. So I want to trace just a little bit right here. That I'm going to be able to dig that out of there. So with that being in there like that, I'll be able to get it out. Again, it's not absolutely gorgeous. Not absolutely gorgeous with that little notch right there, but it's going to be easier to pull out. So that's basically it with this. Now we'll go and get a picture or get a little video of it in there and see how it looks. Alright, so now that I have this all put together, I can take this, throw it in there, fits nice and perfectly in there, pretty cool looking. Close this up, and like I said, you can't even tell that there's something in there. It looks just like a basic shelf, but once I put that on there, I can open that up, grab my weapon out real quick, and be ready to go. But that's basically it. Like I said, if you're interested in one of these, make sure and check the contest below. Make sure that's still running, and try to win one of these for yourself. Really cool. And if it's over, make sure and check out the guys at MinutemenCabinets.com and check these out. They've got longer ones for long guns. They've got all sorts of cool stuff, different colors to fit different furniture styles and all that stuff. But check them out. That's MinutemenCabinet.com.